If you are a supporter of Peter Obi, all obedience, make una gather here. I have something to say that should set us thinking about what should happen in the 2027 election. I have a question to ask all supporters of Peter Obi. If we are to be in Peter Obi's shoes, what will you do differently in 2027 election that will be different from what happened in 2023? What will you do? I have been asking a lot of people these questions and the answers they've been giving has not been satisfactory. Let me start like this. There are two types of obedience. Everybody say obedient, we are obedient, we are obedient. All obedience are not the same. As a matter of fact, we have two types of obedience. And the two types of obedience are the emotional obedience and the strategic obedience. I'm obedient, but where do I belong in these two? I am a strategic obedient. You all remember that in 2019, Peter Obi was a running mate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He was advised to leave PDP and contest in another party. He was advised to stand alone. And then Peter Obi decided to go to the Labour Party. I wrote him an open letter on Facebook that movement was wrong. I advised that he should have remained with Atiku. That despite the fact that they did not do well together in 2019, the times changed in 2023 and they were going to do well. So imagine the votes they both have differently. Those were combined in 2023. Imagine they stood as one entity, one ballot. It would have been difficult for Tinubu to beat them. My post is still on Facebook when I wrote him an open letter that is not a good decision. A lot of people criticized me. Why should I say so? I said, look, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying Peter Obi cannot win. If he wins the election, there are powers that be who may not allow him to be declared president. This is Nigeria. That you have the potential to win an election is not enough. You have to strategize. In the history of Nigeria, we had a man who contested the freest election in the person of MKO Abiola, despite winning that election. He was never Nigeria president. The rest is history. You know what happened. The rest is history. So, politics in Nigeria is different. That is why you cannot rule out the place of strategy above popularity. The emotional obedience are the ones who will tell you it is either Peter Obi or nothing. That if it is not Peter Obi, they will prefer that Tinubu continues. And the strategic obedience are the ones who will tell you wherever Obi goes, we will follow. Whether Obi becomes a vice president, before he later becomes president, wherever he goes in 2027, there we will follow. Because we know any government that Peter Obi is, whether as president or vice president, as long as his influence is in that government is going to do well. Come to think of it, Atiku is a good man, he's a good leader. Unfortunately, most Nigerians don't know that. Atiku, the rejected stone, will end up as a cornerstone for Nigeria. How do I know? I have studied that man and I thank God for the assessment orientation, if you like call it evaluative orientation, that God has given to me. I have a way of reading people, assessing people that many people don't have. Atiku will be a great leader. The reason he's been contesting is because of the good dream he has for Nigeria. I'm going to tell you guys the history of Atiku and why he has continued to contest. I will tell you why. I will make you guys understand that man is a great man. His determination ought to be studied. His consistency ought to be admired and praised. His consistency is worthy of emulation. Should Peter Obi deputize Atiku in 2027 election? Or should he run it alone? Or like many people say, Atiku should step down so that Peter Obi can carry the flag of ADC. But I say no. There is great strength in that combination of Atiku and Peter Obi. Yes, they did it in 2019 and it did not work. But this is not 2019. 2027 will be a different ball game. That will be the best time for them to combine together. But the emotional obedient, the tribal ones from the east, they are the ones who will vehemently tell you why Peter Obi is more popular. Why should he deputize Atiku? We stoop to conquer in life. They don't get it. And let me address my brothers from the east. Look, those of us who are not from the East and are supporters of Peter Obi, our concern is not whether an Igbo man becomes president or not. That's not our interest in Peter Obi. We are not interested in Peter Obi because he's an Igbo man. We are only interested in Peter Obi because of the quality of his personality, and what we think he can offer to Nigeria. So when you guys are saying hey, it is either Peter Obi or nothing, with the strategic obedience, are thinking differently. If Obi gets there in 1 year time, in 4 years time, in 5 years time, as long as he's in that government, the foundation will be better for him when he becomes president. There are so many reasons why some people don't believe in our strategic movement. Okay, vice presidents are not normally influential. Whether he's influential or not, if he deputizes Atiku, when it is his turn, the core north will rally around Atiku and they will support it. I am very, very certain about Atiku's loyalty. He can be trusted. Vice presidents are like spare tires, but not so. Atiku himself, when he was deputizing Obasanjo, was a very strong vice president. He was in charge of the economy. He handled privatization, although many people lie that he sold most of the parastatal to his friends. It's not true. It's not true. The privatization was good. It was successful. The GSM was done through a very popular auction. BP was very effective. So when people say he sold parastatals to his friends, I ask them, name those friends he sold it to. So people just lie about Atiku. So he was a strong president. It's unfortunate he quarreled with Obasanjo. Obasanjo loved him. He picked him to be his vice. He's a great man. His quarrel with Obasanjo was a mistake. It was just a mistake. And that has affected him grossly. Now, that is just by the way. Interest in Peter Obi is not because he's Igbo. So when we are talking Peter Obi, I think Igbos should lower their voice and stop turning it into a tribal thing. It's not a tribal thing. They should lower their voices when it comes to Peter Obi. He's popular. He's not popular because he's an Igbo man. He's popular because he's been able to market his character before us. And we are loving it. So when you say it's either Peter Obi or nothing, that is not what we are saying. We are saying whatever path Peter Obi takes to get there to become president, we are with him. And that is the right way to go. Whichever path he takes, we will follow him. It is foolishness when you say it's either Peter Obi or nothing. We are thinking of what is best for Nigeria. What will be best for Nigeria, best for Peter Obi, and best for Atiku. If you say you cannot tolerate it, I'm pleading with you to learn to tolerate it, because that is just the way to go. Yes, every part of this country deserves to be president, but that's not our interest in this case. And for those who argue it's turn of south, it's turn of north, that thing is unconstitutional, it's undemocratic. I don't even believe in that. Let the best man lead at any point in time. It is selfish politicians who are looking for advantages here and there that will always use it, turn of south, turn of the north. It's nonsense. They said Atiku himself said it. Well, anybody can say anything to gain political ground and political relevance, but I don't believe in it. At any point in time, let the best man lead. It doesn't matter the region he comes from. It doesn't matter the tribe. So if you were to be in Peter Obi's shoes, what will you do in 2027? What will you do differently? I want to hear your opinion. If you are one of those who is saying it's either Peter Obi or nothing, let me hear what your strategy is for 2027. What do you think Peter Obi can do alone differently that will be different from what he did in 2023? Mind you, the man in Aso Rock will not be an easy man to beat. He was not in control of institutions. He was not in control of machinery of state in 2023. And yet, he was able to win. What do you think will happen this time around? So you need a great deal of strategy, a well-planned strategy. But Tinubu is beatable. And I know Nigerians are going to shock him in 2027.